We're the Girly Pops. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Haley.
And today our episode is going to be Hi, Luna.
Hi, Luna.
Today is going to be an episode about the teachers that we had in high school and elementary school
and middle school.
All of the schools.
Yes, because we went to the same school as of the second grade. So
yeah,
we've got some shared stories, and there's some juicy ones.
Doozies. There are definitely some doozies. And you might see a change of scenery here. This is my house, and we're about to move, so we figured we should give this house one last hoorah to the YouTube channel, to the podcast before leaving. So
absolutely,
it's not quite as pretty as Haley's house, but it'll do.
Prettier.
Anyways, so who should we start with? We have a list because we didn't want to forget all of these, and this might have to have a part 2 because there's quite a few
ones. Should we start with like elementary and then middle school and then high school?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So elementary, I feel like
it wasn't too bad until it hit the fifth grade.
And I feel like this is more your story because I was young and I didn't catch any bad vibes because I didn't know I was in danger.
Exactly.
However, Haley
and it wasn't even in school either. So this is our 5th grade teacher. They taught science and social studies. And it was of the male identity.
Actually, pretty much all of these teachers are.
Oh, man. Anyways, so like I said, it wasn't in school. It was actually during the summer. And it was at the pool. And I would just see this teacher like in the pool holding students that he would have like bridal style, kind of like this. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, that's weird. And then, of course, like in school, I liked him. I thought he was funny. Because I was in 5th grade. I didn't know any better.
Yeah, we didn't know we were in danger. We didn't know that literal grown old men would be preying on us as children. So, like, of course, all the other kids were, like, talking to him. I was like, oh, I'll go say hi, talk to him. And then, oh my gosh, I know I told you that he, like, tried to. No, I remember now. He did pick me up. He did hold me like that. And you know how uncomfortable I was? Very. Wait, just unprompted. He didn't say like, hey, Haley, can I pick you up? Or it was very unprompted. He just scooped me. And I'm in a bikini, okay? A 5th grade bikini. I was not wearing those one pieces. Other children were. But anyways, very, very uncomfortable. And then I'm pretty sure later on he got in trouble with the police. That is the reason he did get fired was because I remember there was a news article. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade when it came out about how he got fired because he picked up at least one of the girls and he touched her butt. He was touching her in an area that he should not have been touching her as her 5th grade math teacher. Ruby? And so my cat is now messing with the camera. Scratch the crap out of you. She'd done it before. Oh. She deserves everything that's coming to her. If you guys knew the absolute crap that this cat has put me through in my lifetime, well, there's also that.
Bye, Ruby.
Bye, Ruby. Hi, Luna. And this is Luna. Haley has a cat named Luna, and my dog is named Luna, and I am the one who stole the name. So, actually, it was my husband. I wanted to name Luna something that was a little more original. Yeah, like Starfire Galactic 3000. Yeah, or like Princess Banana Boat. But instead, we need to go with Luna. We went with Luna. Not unoriginal, right? Yeah, kind of gross. Anyways, what were we even talking about? Teachers touching kids. Oh yeah, naturally. So that's actually why he got fired was because he got caught touching, like when he picked some girl up, he touched her inappropriately and got fired. So I was not that girl. Yes, thank God. I did not get touched inappropriately. It was just uncomfortable. I have a Ruby hair in my mouth. She's like in the general vicinity. Right, Ruby.
Sarah, why are you looking at me like that?
There it was. Boop. Just Boop. The idea of having cat hair in my mouth is disgusting. Anyway.
Why'd you come at me like a henchman? I'm not playing with you. I'm working.
We're working right now.
We got some more.
My hair's too oily and so I'm like
gosh. Well, okay, so I think that's everything about that teacher. So
I feel like, yeah, I was gonna wait until they came back in, but they're probably gonna hang up. So
maybe.
Yeah. So on to the next. Let's see.
Conclude elementary.
That does conclude. We only had one creepy teacher per elementary, and keep in mind with only one. That is good because that's much better numbers than what our next stories will tell.
Yeah, high school was a good one.
And keep in mind, we had, so now we're on to middle school. And let's see, I should bring a highlighter because that one happened in high school. Mm-hmm. Let's keep in mind with these stories that we both went to a school that, we both went to the same school, obviously. The school we went to, we had a graduating class of 62 people.
Yep.
It's fairly small community. Everyone knows each other. Mm-hmm. It's there's a limited amount of teachers.
I want to say these are all high school.
I really think they were. Not that one.
You're right. That was like right below. No, it was 6th grade, right?
That was 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah, because hold on. This teacher was the one to replace that one.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're both on the list.
I think I preferred the first one that we had.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because at least he wasn't.
He was weird, but he didn't creep on
little girls.
So that was a win.
Yeah. I feel like Haley is more qualified to tell these stories of this particular junior high teacher. I have quite a few stories about him too, but I just have repressed them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But before she tells the stories about this one, I have a story that my husband actually reminded me of tonight that I didn't have on the list, and it was actually a substitute teacher that they allowed in the school, and this was the only one who was not a man. All the teachers on this list are men. There was a substitute teacher, and she was a female, obviously, is she, and she was probably like, I don't know, I want to say, I mean, my sense of age was a little warped in junior high, but I would say she was probably like early 30s, like max 32 years old. She was not that old, but she was also a grown woman. It wasn't like fresh out of college or anything like that. And she was a very attractive lady. She was a very pretty girl. But all the teenage boys, I mean, come on now, they were 12 and 13. They all had a little crush on her, you know. However, she pursued these crushes, and she would add these boys on Snapchat. To her Snapchat. A grown woman would add 12 and 13 and 11-year-old boys on her Snapchat. And there was actually, so my husband went to the same school as us, and he was a grade above us. Mm-hmm. And there was a kid in his grade that she was sending dirty pictures to. And he would, let's see, that would have been my 6th grade. So he was 7th grade, so probably like 12, 13 years old. And she was sending dirty pictures through Snapchat to 12 and 13-year-olds.
That is so gross.
And yeah. And
I think I repressed this because I don't remember her at all.
Yeah, I wish I could. I remember there was one time that I went on like a date. It was with so like it was more of a friend thing, but he had a crush on her, and she showed up at the little movie date that we had going on and just hung around us the whole night.
Did he invite her?
No. She was just there by herself weird. And then just wouldn't leave us alone. Like we were children.
That's weird. Was it like back then when like you can figure out your location through Snapchat? Like did Snapchat have that feature?
Yes.
Then?
Yes.
Do you think she saw his location?
It's very possible because she did have him on Snapchat, because the reason that she found out that we were there was because he was like, oh my God, it's Miss Poopy Head. That's what we'll call her. And he like Snapchatted a picture of her. You know how like when you see your friends, you're like, hee, I see you. And he did that. And then she like turned around. And so he had her on Snapchat already, so...
You are a grown woman! Why are you creeping after little boys?
The thing is, she's way older than she was way older at the time than I am now, and I look at even high schoolers, and I'm like, that is a child. That is a little baby.
Oh my gosh,
that's a little baby.
Yeah, like 18, 19-year-olds, like they're legal, and I'm like, no, you're a child.
Yeah, no, there's a baby. Where's your mommy?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And yeah, just icky.
It's very icky.
Icky.
Yeah.
The next teacher, though, he was not a pedophile that we know of.
No, he was just different.
Office rocker.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's see. Some of the times I can remember is one time. So in the classroom, we had these like cabinets, and they were like on the floor, but like they were kind of tall, right? He did put a kid in there.
Locked him in
the cabinet.
And would not let him out after he was banging on the door.
No.
Crying for help.
Yep. He eventually did get out. So that was a plus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to just tell about... he wasn't even a good teacher. It wasn't like, oh my God, she made me jump. He wasn't even a good teacher. It wasn't like he was like a nutty professor or anything. He was straight up just insane. He like I would do my homework and he would just lose it, and then he'd be like, well, I lost it, so you get a 0. And I was like, but you just said that you lost it. I did the work. And he was like, yeah, but if it's not in front of me, then you don't get a grade.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh,
came to school without his teeth in.
Yeah.
So he had dentures, which, like, that's fine. I work in the dental field now. Like, that's no big deal. But it was definitely hard to understand him.
Yeah. And it was just... And, you know, you forget your dentures. It happens. However, there was... I feel like he was purposely... trying to get, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally have a warped perception of this, but I feel like I remember him writing things that were all S's, like a simmering hot summer day on the whiteboard, and he was saying it like this, and he kept I don't know. I feel like he was like deliberately just trying to get us all rowdied up.
I think so, yeah.
But he was very he was an angry man, and
he definitely had his favorite students, and then he definitely had kids that he hated, and you could tell that he hated those students because he treated them very differently.
Well, and I don't know if you remember, there was a time where his favorite students, he brought them McDonald's milkshakes.
Okay, I don't remember.
Because there was like 3 girls.
So now I'm upset that it's not his favorite.
There were 3 girls that, like, I feel like you know who I'm talking about, who were definitely his favorite.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
And yes. There was one time he brought in chocolate McDonald's milkshakes for them, and then we were all like,
excuse me? You have to have enough to share with the class. He was like,
well, they get A's in this class.
Yeah, to be fair, I did not do my moon charts.
That was the other thing. Dude, okay, so this was 6th grade science, so it's nothing too, like, mind-blowing or anything. But, like, he was teaching us about the weather, and so then he made us watch Tornado. Isn't that the name of the movie?
I think so. And we also had to make, like, a board game.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know. Maybe that was a good teacher. I feel like we're saying this and it doesn't put to justice. Like, the amount of crazy.
What did I name her in the last episode? Keegan. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was same person. But me and her were grouped together for this like board game thing, and we made Weatheropoly. Ooh. Which I still have to this day, and Bo won't play it with me, which is rude.
Lame. I'll play it.
I know. The rules, amazing.
Episode idea?
I'll bring it.
Deal.
It's very cool. Anyways, but it was kind of cool because like the next 3 days, all we did was play our board games, and that was class. And I'm like, that's great. But there was also another day that he came into class and he's like trying to sell us kittens that he had out of the back of his truck.
Yeah, he just had, it was like a 90-degree day, and he had kittens in the back of his truck.
Selling them to sixth graders.
Selling them, and if you didn't have, like, for me, for instance, he was like, you need a cat. And I was like, ooh, I was raised on a little farm, and we have like 1,000,001 barn cats. And I was like, no, I don't need another cat. Trust me on this one. And then he guilted you if you didn't take his cat.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we were in the 6th grade.
We got no money. What did you want from us?
I didn't have a job. I was freaking like 11.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah.
And so like he was like a 1-year contract. I don't know if he quit or if he got fired.
I just remembered. This is coming back like trauma. I just got tingly. Okay. No, he got fired.
I thought so, yeah.
It was me.
You got him fired?
Yeah. Oh, well, no.
Oh, didn't you tattle on him that he was such a bad teacher and that he locked a kid in the cupboard?
Yes. So at this point, he taught us the correct way to curse. I
remember that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So like it's like a gum wrapper, and he was like, so this is how you do it. And you put the gum wrapper on the floor and you step on it, and remember that the gum wrapper is dog crap.
Yes, dog crap.
And but like his visual was a gum wrapper.
Yes.
He's like the gum wrapper is dog crap, and when you step in it you go shit. Just like that. And we're like
6th graders.
We're 6th graders. Now, granted, this was nothing really that we'd been never been introduced to before because we went to public school. However, we were all taught as young children that that's not really a word that you repeat.
No.
And then we're getting taught in school
how to use it
the best way to use those words.
And you know that if we went home and stepped in some dog poop and we said shit, our moms would whoop us. Oh
my God. I'd be dead. And
I've been like, but my teacher said it was okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, your teacher ain't here now.
For real. Bam. So anyways, it was getting closer to the end of the year when he had locked this kid in the closet, and I went home and I told my parents, and they were like, what? No. That's not right. And my dad is where I get my justice warrior side from, but that's a story for another time. And he was like, we are not going to let a teacher teach in a school where he's locking children in closets. What is this, Matilda? And I said, it is a very uncanny resemblance.
That's fair.
So the next day, we had 4 days left of school. Okay? 4 days left of school. And my dad's like, it's 7 a.m. and we're going to head to school. And my dad's like, I'm talking to the principal about this. And I was like, please, Dad, just don't. Because he always threatened us. I hate you guys and I'm leaving and I'm going to Florida. So I was like, please, Dad, don't. There's only 4 days left of school, and
it was a 1-year contract anyways.
And like, he's gonna leave. We only have 4 days. We have to make it through. And my dad's like, that ain't right. He should never be able to teach ever again. Which is fair. My dad was not wrong.
I don't even think he went to Florida. Like, he literally
he went
30 minutes away.
Yeah, he went south.
Yeah.
30 minutes to the next town over.
And then taught at a different school.
Did he really?
I'm pretty sure he taught at a school.
No.
Yeah. He was the freaking science teacher there.
Well, anyways, so I guess it's a good thing my dad went in because he would have probably been teaching at our school still. But my dad went in, and I asked my dad, I was like, please, if you're going to be talking to the principal about this. Please just don't drag me into it. I really don't want to deal with this bull crap. Mm-hmm. And so my dad went in and talked to the principal, and lo and behold, they pull me in. I remember the exact outfit I was wearing. I was wearing these like electric blue sport shorts with like a pink stripe and a black t-shirt. And this is a very vivid memory now that I remember. And they called me in and they were like, did this actually happen? And so then I'm stressed because the teacher is sitting outside, like looking in the window into this office. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm being interrogated. And keep in mind, I'm in 6th grade, so I'm not very emotionally mature at this point. So I just started breaking down. I'm like, yes. And so then they're like, okay, this happened. So then they kicked me out of the office. They brought the teacher in. And it's my dad, the teacher, and the principal. And they were like, she says this is true. Is this true? And he goes, no, it's not true. I would never do that. And they were like, are you sure? Because this girl seems pretty upset about it. And so then he starts crying. Granted, keep in mind, this man is like old enough to retire. He's old. He doesn't have no teeth. Okay. And so he starts breaking down crying, and he's like, I'm so sorry. Nah, nah, nah. And my dad starts screaming at him, and he's like crying in his admission of guilt, and is just going off on him. And then the principal is yelling, Mr. Bradley, sit down and calm down and blah, blah, blah. So there's a teacher crying. My dad is screaming. The principal's screaming at him. And I just could hear it all through the door and the window. So then I'm freaking out, and I'm like, because I'm all alone in the office. And so then I'm crying, and it was a horrible day. So then, anyways, once they let me out of the office, guess what my next period was?
Science.
It was actually PE. Let's keep in mind that
he also taught PE.
So this school, we had like 4 teachers in total, and so the science teachers or the math teachers or whatever were always like also the PE teachers.
Yes.
So I had PE next with said teacher, and so they let us go, and then I was like, I don't want to go to this class. Like, I can't face this embarrassment. Like, I literally just got him in trouble. Uh-huh. And so he's there for like half the period, and I was just like in the corner like like this, and he didn't say anything about it. And then about halfway through, the vice principal of the school comes in and says, why don't you go on down to the office to the teacher, and takes over the rest of the class. And after that happened, creepy, weird old teacher was never to be seen ever again. So my dad got him fired.
Last thing I remember is he literally during class, he had up on the projector his resume, and he was like, does this look okay? Like, what do you guys think?
We're in the 6th grade.
I've never made a resume in my life.
We weren't even old enough to work at a fast food joint.
No, let me tell you. Did we say it looked great? Absolutely. We wanted him out of there.
We're like, that's
beautiful.
Perfect.
He's like, I'm going to go to Florida. I'm like, okay, you do that. That's where you belong.
Yeah. Because, I remember... I can't say that part because it'll give away his name. But his name was very close to Myrtle Beach. So he was... like, wouldn't that be so perfect if I lived in Myrtle Beach? And then he moved 30 minutes south of where we are in Iowa.
Yep. So
big L for him.
And for middle school teachers.
Yeah.
So they also only had one.
Oh my God. Hey, that's a win. Well, now for...
Actually, 2. Sorry.
We're going to count
the substitute.
Yeah. On to high school, we have... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teachers.
6 teachers.
And I'm thinking at this point we may have to have a part 2. So let's hit the list. Well, do you want to go in list order? Fair enough. Science teacher. This one was a chemistry teacher. This was our junior year of high school, which by far the toughest year of high school, I would say.
Yes.
And maybe it was just that way because of this specific class. Because all I can remember about that year being tough
is you crying in chemistry class.
It is me crying in chemistry class. Oh my God, that brings more stories to mind about this specific teacher.
Yeah. I'll let you, because you had more trauma with him than I did. The only thing I can remember is this man thought he would be so nice. Firstly, he would give us a study guide for us to fill out on our own.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, you can use it on the test. Like, you can literally have it. And then none of the questions were off of the study guide.
Like, not even the same kind of questions. No. Like, the questions on the study guide would be like, what color is the sky? And he'd be like, blue. And then the questions on the...
how many hydrogen molecules in it?
And he'd be like, yeah, I just feel like that was something that you needed to know. But he didn't think to offer that information to us.
Questions where he didn't even teach us that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just didn't have time to. Then take it off the test.
Yeah. It's not a
pedophile,
though, so a win. However, this teacher in particular, the first thing I have to say about him was he would always refer to himself in the third person. So we'll call him Mr. Star, okay? And he would say to himself at the beginning of class, hello, Mr. Star, how are you today? I am very good. How are you today, Mr. Star? I am very good as well. Are we ready to teach chemistry? Yes, we are, Mr. Star. Thank you so much for asking, Mr. Star. And then when he got frustrated with us because we were like, there's something wrong with this guy. Mm-hmm. He would draw a big old circle or an X on the whiteboard. Oh, this is Gracie. Everybody say hi to Gracie.
Hi, Gracie.
She's named Gracie because she's gray. Very original. Hi. Also one of my husband's naming abilities there. So he would write like a big X or like a big old circle.
Or a square.
He did do a square one time on the whiteboard. And then he would write out bang head here and then just... bam, 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 whack his head against the whiteboard.
In class.
Very hard.
Yes.
I mean, like, I'm not shocked if he, like, gave himself some kind of cranial injury or concussion or something. Like, this teacher. And so we're getting to be 16, and I started getting a little mouthy, a little ornery,
started hitting people with our car.
Well, okay, that's a story for another time, but yes. Maybe a little, I wasn't maybe so sweet and innocent anymore. So, there was one time where I would sit there and I would try to figure out, I really was set on having good grades. And so I would try to figure out this class. And I remember like going up to him and saying like, hey, can you help me? I don't understand this. He was like, well, didn't you pay attention when I was teaching the class?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're a bad teacher. Mm-hmm. So then he wouldn't help me. And so he'd tell me to go back to my desk, and then I would just sit there and cry because what do you do? I can't teach myself chemistry. No. I'm not capable of that. I'm not that smart. So I'd go up and ask for help. He'd tell me no. I'd go back to my desk and I'd just sit there and I'd cry like this. Mm-hmm. There was one day I knew I was going to be gone the next day. And so I was just being a little shit is what I was doing. And I was like, just know that if I'm not here tomorrow, it's because I killed myself because of this class, which in hindsight maybe shouldn't have been something that I should have said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you know what?
But
he didn't report it either.
No, he didn't report it. He's a mandatory reporter and he didn't say shit. And I knew he heard me because he looked into my eyes and he went, oh. And then I walked out of the room. So anyways, the next day I was gone. Mm-hmm. And instead of going, oh, Rachel said she was going to kill herself if she wasn't here today. He stands in front of the class. And Haley's the one who told me that he did this. He stands in front of the class and goes, oh, it's really quiet in here today without Rachel sobbing.
I don't remember this.
I remember being gone. I was at a doctor's appointment out of town.
Yeah.
And I remember I just finished my appointment and everything. And I was like, man, I'm really enjoying my day. I get to have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. And I opened my phone, and there's a text from Haley. Bro, Mr. Star just said that it's really quiet in here because you're not in here crying. And I was like,
surprised your dad didn't get him fired.
Well, I didn't tell him because anything that happened after my dad got the one teacher fired, I never told him afterwards because I was not, I mean, he was going to get all these people fired.
Yeah, he would.
And I told my mom, and my mom was, I was like, please don't tell my dad. But,
math teacher. So, he was also really shit at teaching.
Yeah, like really bad.
So what he
this guy,
do?
I will preface, this guy, not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
Yay! And honestly, as a person,
he wasn't a bad person.
He's just really bad at his job. I mean, like, if you could have someone who is awful at their job, multiply that by about 1,000, and he was that bad.
He was also like a sports coach, so I think he was like mainly that, and then just like math on the side.
Yeah, he was only really there to be a football coach, and then he was like, but I can be a math teacher too.
But like, this is what he'd do. He would do one problem on the board, and we'd watch him do it, and then he'd be like, okay, now do all the even numbers in your book, because the odd ones had the answers in the back. And there was one time I was struggling with my homework, and I want to say I turned it in and I got a lot of it wrong, and he was like, let's, tomorrow morning before like school, come in and I'll help you with your homework. I'll teach you. I'm like, that's actually great. Thank you so much. He did it for me and
didn't learn a single thing.
And then he gave me 100% and I learned nothing.
That's actually more than what he ever did for me. So, I mean, he would just do that. He'd write up one. I mean, most of the time he was about 15 minutes late to our class.
Yes.
Where he would go?
I don't know. He'd also answer his phone in class.
Like his personal phone.
And then he'd go to the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Yeah, there's like a back room for some reason, and he'd just talk on his phone the whole class. But yeah, he'd just do one question, and then he'd be like, all right, do all these. And this class is actually the way I met my husband, because there was no way you could learn this either. For me, that class was pre-calculus, and I'm sorry, trying to teach yourself calculus.
No thanks. Let alone pre.
No, let alone pre.
I stopped at like what was required. I want to say it was algebra 2. Right? Was the last one that was required?
I don't remember.
Or was it geometry? Either way,
yeah.
I did not apply myself to extra math.
I did for 1 year, and then I had that guy, and I said no. But yeah, that's actually where I met my husband. Was I just cheated off of him. He sat a couple seats in front of me, and I cheated off of him and got good grades because my husband is smart and was able to teach himself pre-calculus. But anyways, about this teacher, I mean, there was a lot of things that we could say about him. Like I said, a decent human being.
Yeah.
Just not good at his job. But he was a funny guy. There was, let's see, I have 2 things about him. Oh, okay, the first one I'll have, it's about how bad he was at his job. The second one is just a funny story about him. The first one was, so, this math class, the pre-calculus class, was actually 1 period before my chemistry class. So I'd go to pre-calculus, and then right after pre-calculus was done, I'd go over to chemistry. So this was back when I was actually trying in chemistry. It's probably mid-year or so. And I had my chemistry homework, and I, at this point, had given up on my math homework because he would just grade anything. And if it looked okay, he'd just give you 100%.
There's numbers. Correct.
Yeah, correct. He wouldn't actually look. No. So there was one day I was like, oh crap, I didn't even like fake a math homework. So I turned in my chemistry homework for my math homework, and he just looked at it, saw that there was work on there, gave me a 100%, like on the homework and then gave it back to me. Very next period, gave it to my chemistry teacher. I think I got like a 18% on it. I mean, it was so bad, but I got a great grade in math with my chemistry homework. It was fantastic. Oh. Kind of also a little awkward. He's just a little funky. There is something about him. And there was one time that he was teaching class. He was like doing his one question on the board. And he had to tootie. Okay. And he thought he was going to catch it by like dropping his marker and like it would go on the floor at the same time that he went, except for he didn't. So it went like that. So it was delayed. And then he stood up and he went, oh. And then he like sideways shimmies like and leaves the room. Just no words. And he just leaves the room. And then we didn't see him for the rest of the day. And he left the building.
I would too. Honestly, I would too.
It turns out he crapped his pants when he did that, and he told the office ladies, because at this point I was kind of in with the office ladies, and they're like, yeah, he said that his daughter was sick. And then there was a sub that came in. The man took a dookie in his pants. Yeah, sometimes
the teacher, not the sub.
Sometimes the teacher, yeah.
Our English teacher, basically. And
halfway pedophile.
No, full.
It was. He didn't actually act on it, but he.
No. So like the weirdest thing was that like he had a wife. His wife left him for another student's
father. That was in our grade. And this man would bully this student in class. Everyone. And I mean, he went off the rails.
He would literally have breakdowns in class.
Like screaming, crying.
He threw something once.
Did he?
I mean, I don't believe it.
I believe this. I am not shocked.
Crazy. I would say he threw like a pencil or something.
Okay.
It was nothing crazy, but yeah, it's like, how are you going to bully a student because your wife left you?
He was
like, that sucks. Sorry.
Nuts. He would tell us all the time the story about him and his wife, how they met each other. And like, apparently the day he saw her, he thought that she was the most beautiful woman in the world. And
wasn't it like 3 days later?
Yeah. It was on their second date. It was like
he proposed.
A couple weeks later, he proposed on their second date.
I mean,
and she said yes. And they were the happiest that they ever could have been. But then she cheated on him when she met our classmate's dad. And he told us the story of this. So we should be like learning actual, I don't know, English or whatever in this class. Essays. Little things.
No.
And he was like, I remember it. It was December 13th. I was making breakfast for my lovely wife and children. And she comes down the stairs and she says, I have something to tell you. I'm seeing another man. I mean, we were on the edge of our seats. This was a full-on soap opera that we were living.
Tea, like, hell yeah. Like, I'd rather learn this than write essays.
But looking back now, like, telling a room full of children about your messy divorce is a little crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, he starts crashing out over this, and he's like, and it's your dad! Yep. And, like, I'm losing it.
Yeah. If you had a nickname, you knew that he was going to call you out every single time. So in my name, I have 2 Y's as Haley. So he called me Y squared.
I remember that.
In public, he would see me at like Walmart and be like, hey, Y squared.
I don't know why that's funny.
And then she got singled out because she had red hair.
Oh, yeah.
So he would make the joke that, gingers have no soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also, at one point, did ask me, does the carpet match the drapes when I was 17? Yeah. So, like I said, kind of pedophilic.
Yeah.
He also, he told us that we could not put on lip balm because it reminds him of those, when he sees us girls put on lip balm, it reminds us of those commercials where they put on lip balm and they're all sexy in their bikinis and it turns him on. And he said that to a group of teenagers in his class. And so,
sir, my lips are dry.
Sir, literally, what? So there was a day, which we mostly tried to avoid it because, I mean, when he yelled at you, like, you could hear him across the school. If his door was closed, this man was so loud.
It was. And as you guys have seen, I've yawned at least 20 times right now. Like, I cannot control it.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for yawning because he thought I was bored.
That's what it was.
Class. Bro, no, it's just the first period after lunch. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's warm in there. I just had a little snackish snack. I'm going to take a nap.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
And also, you're boring.
Well, he was. Well, I don't know, because there was a lot of crazy things happening.
Yeah,
but so there was a time we all tried to mainly just keep him happy and tried to avoid getting yelled at because he was freaking psychotic. And there was a time where there was a girl, we'll call her Tamisha. Tamisha, she actually had such dry lips that, like, you know, sometimes like the middle of your lip just busts right open because it's so dry.
Yeah.
So she was doing that and it was like blood coming out. It wasn't like one of those like, oh, I'm bleeding. It was like blood. And because her lips were so freaking dry, because it was the middle of winter in Iowa. I mean, it gets dry here.
Very dry.
And so she has Carmex. She puts it on her finger and she just goes like this. Not like...
Yeah, you know, we're not.
She just
sexualizing
goes
it
like this, and
is.
she's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Don't do that to me! Don't do that!" And sent her to the freaking office because she could have turned him on with her chapstick. Let's keep in mind,
we're children. Oh, he had a club. He had like
what was it?
Some freaking creative writing club or whatever. Anyways, so we had to write these essays, and he was naming out people who got 20 out of 20, like consistently naming them. And then I get my paper back, and I got 20 out of 20. I'm like, why wasn't my name put up there? Only people in the club. That's the only names he read out, as if you're in his stupid club.
Bro.
I know.
Here
we are, you know,
because it's getting long, and we have a lot more stories to tell.
Be juicy, so you know, stay tuned. If you like this one, you're gonna like the next one even more.
Yeah, because these were just the teasers. We dipped the toe. These are the teasers.
We're gonna dive straight into the deep end.
Next week is the juicies. The juicies.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that I'm looking at the list,
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited to share the most horrific parts of our lives.
Made us who we are today.
For the worst. Traumatized and scared of men. So,
woo.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yes, but thank you all for joining you. And yes, thank you for joining you.
Yes, for joining you. Thank you.
But
stay tuned for next week.
All 7 of you. We love you.
7 subscribers. One of them's me. 5 subscribers. Oh, one of them's my husband. Does that count?
No.
Yeah, he's a fan.
That's a different person. He's a fan. My husband's not subscribed. Leave a hate comment in the comments below.
Leave a hate comment for her husband.
Tell him to subscribe.
And for every comment left is one time that it's lashed. We beat the crap out of him for every comment. And for every... That's the end. Bye, guys.
Bye.